Hello all. I'm sorry if my shot looks a little wonky. I can't get my watch to connect to my phone, which is how I monitor my shot. So I kind of just had to guess. I lined up the chair in the shot and then I figured if I just sat down in the chair without moving it, it would be okay. So hopefully that's right. So I thought I'd fill you into what I've been watching since my last Watchlist Wednesday episode, which was late January. And I realized it's kind of a pathetically short list, but that's why I started the challenge in May. I've been so preoccupied with collecting that I haven't been watching anything. So here we are. I watched 6 new movies and 5 rewatches. Normally I don't think I'll include rewatches in the Watchlist Wednesday, but this time it was such a short list I kind of had to. So my first 2 are the ones that had been on my watch list the longest. I was starting to construct a Watchlist Wednesday episode in my old format, and that was going to be the theme, was the ones that had been on the list the longest. And those were The Earrings of Madame D, or Madame D, depending on where you're from, I guess. Do the Right Thing, and it was also Seventh Samurai and The Seventh Seal, but I haven't gotten to those yet. The next new thing I watched was a short film on YouTube called Theater Kid. I'll put a link to that in the description if you'd like to see it as well. And then I went to the cinema and saw Scream 7, which wasn't all that thrilling to be honest, but the completionist in me wanted to continue on with the franchise. On Oscars morning, I finally saw Sinners, and I was just blown away. As you can see here, I gave it 4.5 stars and the little heart on Letterboxd. And the 6th item is the one I'd like to spotlight, and that is Michael. I was incapable of giving this a star rating on Letterboxd, so I just gave it the little orange heart. I kind of have 2 different opinions on that film. One is as a lifelong Michael Jackson fan and someone who still tears up at the very thought of him. That little girl who was in love with Michael Jackson when she was 3 or 4, that's who I took to see the movie Michael. I didn't take the cynical 40-something who critiques movies on YouTube. I took the little Michael fan, my inner child. So for her, it would be a 5-star movie. If the cynical me was the one who went, it would probably be about a 3, which is kind of my standard movie rating. As a movie, it was pretty standard, maybe below standard in certain respects. But as I said, as a Michael fan, it's just absolutely priceless and impossible to give a fair rating to. For Michael, by the way, we went to see it on the day it opened here, which is April 24th. They had some early showings on like the 22nd, 23rd. Those were sold out well in advance, so we went with the 24th. I took my husband and our daughter. Our daughter is also a lifelong Michael Jackson fan, and my husband has kind of gotten pulled into the fold. Now, my husband is a Prince guy, so yeah, we have kind of a mixed marriage, Michael Jackson and Prince. Since there's so few new movies that I watched, I will also give you the rewatches, which were Bullets Over Broadway. I hadn't seen that in many years, and I wanted to kind of catch up on my Diane Wiest. So I watched that. I forgot that Rob Reiner is in it, so that was a little rough, but I made it through. I love that movie more each time I see it, so Bullets Over Broadway is just fantastic. Second is The Darjeeling Limited, which I rewatched for an episode on my other channel. The Birdcage I rewatched because I had mentioned it so many times lately here, and it just made me want to watch it. So, fourth was See How They Run, also rewatched for my other channel. And the other one is I Knew It Was You, Rediscovering John Cazale, which I recommended in the 5 recommendations video. So I kept talking about it and I was like, I need to watch it again. What's nice is that documentary is actually floating around here on YouTube. So I'll put a link to that in the description as well. So I haven't quite nailed down what I want for my new format for Watchlist Wednesday, but for now, this is just a casual what I watched kind of episode. So hopefully next month will be a little more interesting because it will be the May movie challenge. By the way, that's not going so swimmingly yet because the plan was 20 and I've watched 1 so far, and it turns out I had already logged that one as watched on Letterboxd several years ago. So I completely forgot that I had ever seen Inherit the Wind. I knew certain scenes, but I didn't realize I had seen the whole thing. So the one I've seen on my list, I guess, doesn't count. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and happy collecting.